this is Jody King Colegrove with Quantum Techniques, and I wanted to share with you today kind of a personal story. When I was in the first grade, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. So my parents went and got me a tutor to help me with reading comprehension and also some spelling, and that really helped me through grade school and elementary school. Then when I got to college and high school, I really needed help with reading because there was just a lot more assigned. And so I was able to get books on tape and also textbooks on tape of all my classes. And that really helped me speed up the amount of time that I needed in order to get through all the reading material that I needed to get through. And so that was really helpful in helping me. Lately, I came across a really neat book called the Dyslexia Empowerment Plan by Ben Foss. And it's a really good reference book and also to help with any kid dealing with any kind of learning disabilities. And so I find it really recommended. The things that I found that he recommends is we want to, sometimes you're not sure if your child has a learning disability. And so he kind of goes through several different things to help you identify those things. Then he also talks about if your child does have a reading disability or is a little bit slow in a specific area, what are the things that you can do in order to help your child feel more comfortable about what he's dealing with? And so, for example, if a kid gets pulled out of class to have extra tutor time or reading one-on-one with a teacher or more time with testing, that may make the child feel uncomfortable. And so he wants to help the parent empower the child to feel comfortable with those kind of those extra little learning things that you can do for a child and to feel comfortable with his peers doing those things. So that's a really good thing that he has in there. The other thing that he talked about is he actually developed what they call an Intuit reader. And this is almost like a camera that will take a picture of the printed page and will then read it back to you. So depending on the severity of learning disabilities, let's say if you go to a restaurant and you have a real hard time reading the menu, well, you can take a picture of the menu and then it will read it back to you. I still find that a little hard in Italian restaurants where you can't pronounce the different cheeses or the different pasta or whatever. But anyway, they don't have a dictionary with it. But that is really helpful when it comes up to tapes or textbooks that you can't get on tape. And so you could be able to take a picture of the reading word and be able to read through those books that you can't find on tape. Even though there's a plethora of books now on tape just because of our whole digital age and everything being on thumb drive and all the Kindles and things like that. So it's a really great time to be able to get books on tape. I just really appreciate that. So the other thing that he recommends is obviously the tape recorders that will help speed up the person reading so that you can actually read quicker. And that's what I learned. In other words, if you were to listen to me listen to a book, it sounds like the Chipmunks because that's how fast I'm used to reading and being able to comprehend it. Because when you have a reading disability, I always say there's two processes that are going on. One is you're identifying the word, and the second thing is you're putting meaning to it. So if you have a recorder and it's putting meaning or identifying the word, then all I'm having to do is do the meaning part. And so I can go extra quick, and that helps me keep up with everybody else who can read just fine. Another thing that he recommends is text aloud. And so there's a lot of computer programs that you can get that are where you're putting text. You basically, let's say you get an email and then you paste that email into this computer program and it will read it aloud to you. And that has been a godsend literally in the last couple months since I read this book because I've been able to get through my emails a lot quicker and have more time at home instead of having to slosh through all my emails. So that's really an exciting thing and I want to share that. So what we want to do here at Quantum Techniques is we want to also give you different ideas to help with a learning disability or some kind of challenge to learning. And what we find is that we want you to have optimal brain functioning. And so when you're trying to learn or comprehend something, we want to make sure that the left brain and the right brain are communicating. We also want to make sure that all the brain is communicating with the gut. And those neurotransmitters do affect how we learn and how we process information and our attitude in doing that, and whether we can concentrate, whether we have happy hormones, all kind of functioning at the same time. So that's really an important thing. What I find is that if we have toxins that are impacting that area, then we aren't able to have that optimal brain function. So for an example, a lot of times kids find that they're bad on corn. And so if someone has corn and then sits down to do homework, they're going to have a harder time concentrating on that homework because it messes up with whether it's the limbic system, the cerebellum, the hippocampus, the amygdala in the brain. And so what we have found actually with my own son is that if we limited to corn just on Friday nights and then didn't attempt to do homework until Sunday afternoon, the corn was able to kind of get through his system and not have to affect it as much, and he was able to concentrate a lot more. We also found that switching to organic corn didn't have the same effect, and so it allowed us a little bit more opportunities. But that's the same thing with wheat. Same thing with maybe dairy, also sugar. It's not good to give kids sugar right before they sit down to kind of study. You'll have some not so happy kids or happy yourself. So those are some of the things that we want to look at. We also have found with dyslexia or learning disabilities that we want to put back online the left brain automation, the right brain automation, and also the corpus callosum. And by putting them back online or making them function optimally for the body and all the organs, that you're going to get a child that's able to think through situations a lot clearer and be able to do their homework in the best ability that they have possible. So those are just some things that I want to suggest to you and how quantum techniques can help with learning disabilities of any kind. And so give us a call at Quantum Techniques and we can help you have a functioning, happy child. All right, thanks.